Hi, welcome to another video with nodal axis of the moon in astrology series. In this video, I'll be specifically talking about North Node in Libra, South Node in Aries. Before I get started, I strongly recommend you guys to watch my introduction video because I have a little bit different take on the meanings of the nodes in astrology. It would make a lot more sense if you watch that first and then come back watch this. Another thing is I will be specifically talking about the zodiac sign Libra and Aries. I will not get into house placement, but just know that your house placement of the nodal axis is also very important. It represents, it shows the area of your life that your North Node, South Node manifesting. Let's say your Libra is in the second house, it will show up more of your survival needs, your finance situation. If it's in the fourth house, it would be show up more family and your immediate environment. So just make sure that you check your house placement of your nodal axis. And let's get started. So I'll start with giving you guys a little bit introduction of the nodal axis of Libra and Aries, because you can't talk Aries without Libra. You can't talk Libra without the Aries. They are balancing and complementing each other energy. So each zodiac sign on the zodiac wheel, they work with each other, support with each other, and they integrate with each other. So nothing stands on its own. So I'll talk a little bit about Aries and Libra, then we get into what does it mean having your North Node in a Libra, South Node in Aries, and how can you manifest or how do you complement, how do you go about manifesting this nodal axis in your life? So let's start with Aries. Aries is a fire sign. It's the ruler planet is Mars. So Mars is a planet of action. So Aries is all about initiation, starting something, and it's ruled by Mars because whenever you start something, initiate something, it takes so much energy. So Mars gives Aries that energy to do something, take action, start something. And the entire zodiac sign starts with Aries because that's the leader of the zodiac sign. It starts something and the rest of the sign kind of complements or maintains or complete that whatever the Aries started. So whenever you think of Aries, just think of a doer, initiator, a leader, but also Aries have its shadow side. Like every single zodiac sign has its shadow side. It's not perfect. So Aries has shadow of recklessness, impulsiveness, and starting doing something without giving too much consideration or, like logically thinking and weighing the different options. So you might, it's a sign of trial and error. So you might end up making a lot of mistakes, but you're doing a lot of things. And it's also a sign of like independence, finding your own way, finding out your unique individuality. And when Aries in the shadow side, it's about being reckless, being selfish, not considering the consequence of its action, and it ends up causing more trouble than good. And too independent that it doesn't take advice from anyone or really lack patience. Like it might just start something really quick and it has no patience for finishing it up or doing it with others. So those are some of the shadow side of Aries. Now when we look at Libra, Libra is the entire opposite of Aries. Libra is about keeping the peace, cooperating with others. It's a diplomatic sign of the entire zodiac sign. It's also air sign. That means it's very intellectual sign, and also ruled by Venus. Venus is all about harmony and beauty. So Libra doesn't like anything ugly or confronted or war or recklessness. Libra wants to weigh out all the options and come up with a win-win situation. Libra wants everything to be in a harmony. It doesn't like conflict. If you have a lot of Libra in your chart, you probably type of person avoids conflict. And Libra wants to collaborate with others. Libra wants to teach you how to relate with others, relate with your immediate environment, relate with society, because we do not live on our own. We don't exist on our own. We are better as a species together. So we need to consider our actions, consequence, how it brings a consequence to others, and how we can collaborate with others to get like maximum result. So now when you put those signs together, they really complement each other. With Aries, you have a healthy sense of self. With Libra, you know how to work with others without causing that conflict. When you have this nodal axis, South Node in Aries, that means in a more modern astrology, we interpret North Node as, South Node as something you've been experienced, something you mastered, or that's something you brought from your past life karma. And North Node is something that you wanna, the lessons that you wanna learn, the direction you wanna go, and it's unfamiliar territory, and it might feel hard because you never experienced it before, and you have so much fear going to that direction or going to that unknown. I initially agree with South Node, North Node, this assumption, but doing more research and having my own spiritual knowledge, North Node, South Node is more of, I consider as like ego desires, because from spiritual perspective, like we came here in this physical body and physical world to experience and exhaust all our desires so we can go back to our source. So the source has so much unconditional love that it wants each individual soul to explore its own past, explore its own desires, and fulfill anything it wants. And then when we exhaust those desires and there's nothing left, and then we miss home, we're done with separation and we rejoin the source. So from that perspective, North Node and South Node is really our ego desires, our separate desires, things that we want to experience before we rejoin the source. So before I get into like too much spirituality, I just want you guys to understand where I'm coming from. If you watch my introduction video, you will also understand this perspective. So I'm not gonna tell you guys that like, oh, North Node is your destiny, purpose, you have to go there. It kind of puts you in this bypassing, or you're gonna put your satisfaction, happiness on a pedestal. Like, I will be only happy if I fulfill my North Node. I'll be only happy if I let go of Aries, if I go to Libra. So whenever you do that, it's not the truth, because in spirituality, we are content, we're happy, we're satisfied at this moment. We can have desires, but we're not attached to the result of that desire. So I just want to quickly point out that to you guys before I jumping in like, oh, this is your tendency, South Node, or this is where you're going. All right, so having your South Node in Aries, you will be inclined to, because if you don't believe in a past life, just assume that we're still living our South Node first 30 years of our life before our Saturn return. So you'll be very familiar with Aries. You're gonna resonate a lot with Aries. You might not resonate with Libra. So you would still find this video helpful, even we don't talk about past life, just like your first 20 some years of your life, you're really living the Leo archetype, being a reckless. I just don't want to say like all the negative side of Aries, but let's start with the positive. The positive side of Aries, like you are a leader, you're initiative, you want something, you go get it. You want to do something, you go do it. You are very competitive. and you have so much energy that you can never spend it all. So Mars gives you that unlimited energy to do something. However, the shadow side of Aries, especially when you're in your 20s or you're a teenager, like you can be more of a shadow side of this archetype because we don't have that maturity to really navigate this energy. So you might be doing a lot of trial and error. You might have made a lot of mistakes during your teenage years. You have done impulsive, reckless things that you might regret later in life. But just know that, like, in spirituality, nobody is judging you. Like, it's okay if we live in the shadow side, as long as later on we have that maturity and we can see, like, okay, I will choose, because we have free will, I will choose to live more positive side of this archetype instead of the shadow side. So that's going to be early years of your life. You're very independent. You're not going to listen to other people or people older than you. You'll be very self-sufficient, self-reliant, do things you want, you get, achieve your goals, and competitive. And later in your life, this doesn't really serve you. After your Saturn return, your soul wants to kind of weigh towards the Libra side, because we might have to live the extreme of Aries, extreme of Libra, and at some point we need to balance those energies. So with Libra, your soul wants to consider other people's needs and prioritize others' needs and think before you act. Because Libra is the air sign, it's the mental sign. You got to weigh your options. You got to consider what's going to happen if you do something instead of just rushing in or jumping on whatever idea comes to your mind. And another thing was Libra, be more in a harmony. If you're a male, you might be a little bit aggressive, no judgments. So before you jump in an argument or you start a fight or something reckless, you need to pause and use your rational mind a little bit, weigh the situation, come up with more of a win-win situation. So it might benefit you if you're doing more diplomatic work, working with people. It might be really hard because North Node is the unfamiliar territory. So you might feel very uncomfortable. Let's say you do something related customer service or working with people or maintaining any kind of relationship. You might have find it hard, but it also helps you to nurture that relationship, how we coexist with others, how we coexist in a society without shooting each other, killing each other. Like, we work with each other, we support each other, we meet each other's needs. So it doesn't really matter what job you do, as long as you can incorporate this Libra lessons, whatever you do. Like, you can incorporate with your partner, how you can prioritize their needs, find that equilibrium instead of being that dominant person in the relationship. How can you incorporate at work, how you can work with your coworkers instead of a loner, find a job that you don't need a boss, you don't need anyone tell you what to do. I think Aries hates the most, like, people telling them what to do. But find a job that it needs teamwork. You have to cooperate with others to achieve a common goal. That would be very beneficial for you guys. And what else? We talked about the job, you talked about the relationships, even in your family. Maybe you're the rebellious in your family, you go against your parents, you didn't listen to them, you did what you wanted, which is good, early years of your life. But when you get older, maybe repair that relationship with your parents or friends or siblings. So you probably have with Aries energy, you might have a tough relationship with others. So definitely, if you're watching this now, doesn't matter what age you are, you definitely have a chance to repair that relationship a little bit, tone down on like being self-centered or selfish, like always considering like, yeah, you did this to me or you said this to me, that's why I did this. Instead, put yourself in their shoes, look at their story from their perspective, have that mutual understanding and repair that relationship, because we will never be happy on just by ourselves. From spiritual perspective, we all one, so it would be nice if we in a relationship with others, like then that energy, the happiness energy we feel from others, because achieving goals great, but you always find yourself empty, something is missing or lacking until you find that unity, harmony within the society, within others, within your family, within your work. So yeah, at the end, it's all about balancing energy. I would not say like avoid your South Node. Like Aries are like great leaders, so you don't have to abandon your Aries South Node. You just use that, and then you incorporate the Libra lessons. So if you abandon Aries, you would be just become people pleaser. You never confront people. You lose your self identity to a group identity. So you need to have that your individuality, Aries, and you still fit in a group with that. So I don't want to ramble too much. If you want to hear my spiritual perspective on North Node, South Node, definitely check out my introduction video. I will leave the link down below so you would understand that North Node is not your final destination, because there can be another North Node, another North Node. So there's on-stop treadmill. So I will give you a couple advice, my introduction video, how you can develop this spiritual practice that you can be happy, content, and balanced at this moment. It doesn't have to take lifetime or million incarnation. So yeah, this is what I got for you guys. If you resonate, let me know in the comment section. I will talk to you guys in my next video.